Patrick Cook here. So welcome to session number 15 of our fun with Mandelbulb3D Mutations. Now, in the last session, I was suggesting that we could use the MutaGen so that we can take somebody else's work and extend it, all right, or to build upon it. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up. I'm going to clean up here. I'm going to clear all the generations. Yes, I'll close the MutaGen. I'll tell you what, matter of fact, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody else's, okay, somebody else's work. Let's see, what's interesting. I got a whole bunch of them here. Yeah, oh, okay, I think maybe this one right here might be interesting. All right, so I'm going to pull that file. That's an M3P file that I just pulled over. Oh, that, by the way, is my own work. Somebody else's work, it's mine. All right, so let's take a look at the formula construct here. I've got formula 1 is quad 3dB. Formula 2 is Mandelbulb. Formula number 3 is Riemann 2. There is no 4, 5, and 6, okay? And this is an alternate mode. By the way, the MutaGen will work with any of the hybrid modes. We just happen to be an alternate all this time. Well, that's okay. We're still demonstrating the power and the functionality of MutaGen. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the MutaGen, all right, which I had previously cleared. There is my base mutation. Now, what I want to do here is I'm not in discovery mode for this demonstration. I'm not in Mandelbulb discovery mode. What I am in is I want to take somebody else's work and I want to slightly modify it because I like what they did, okay? Let's just say I like that. I like that. I don't want to radically modify it and just move away from it. I like what I see here, but I don't want to grab somebody else's work and then take and run with it and call my own. I want to make it. I want to continue it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable everything here, and all I want to do is I want to modify the properties a little bit. Okay. Julia mode is enabled here. Okay, with this Mandelbulb, Julia mode is enabled. So I could kind of tweak that a little bit. The iteration count is 2 on Formula 1. All right. Well, I don't want to get too radical here. I'm going to leave the iteration count. I'm going to leave the Julia mode off. I don't want to get too radical because all I'm trying to do for this demonstration, I'm just trying to show you that you can use the MutaGen to slightly modify somebody else's work. So you don't want to get too crazy here. All right, let's mutate that. All right, all I'm doing here, as you can see here, all I'm doing is changing property values. Property values, okay? All right, it gave me a slight modification here. Let's send this up to the editor to see what it looks like. All right, so what I've demonstrated here is that I took somebody else's work and I slightly modified it to give me that. We started with this. This is what we wound up with. All right, and that pretty much is a basic demonstration of just simply taking somebody else's work and extending it because you like their work, but you don't want to radically modify it. All right, let's do it again. Let's go all the way. Let's clear all the previous generations. Yes, I'm just going to close the mutagen. All right, and I'm going to take somebody else's work. Yeah, and this is mine too. All right, let's just take. Let's see here. What's a good one? All right. How about this one right here? Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. And now this is a DE combinate. Perfect, perfect, perfect. DE combinate. All right. And my first formula, my second formula, my third formula, that's a transform. It's in DE combinate. Now this is an excellent example to illustrate to you that the mutagen doesn't care, doesn't attempt to change the hybrid mode. It's interesting because it will keep you in the hybrid mode that this is in. Now it may exchange, add, and remove formulas, but mutagen does not modify the hybrid mode. All right, just a key point. All right, so again, I'm demonstrating that I just want to extend somebody else's work or my own work a little bit. I don't want to get too radical. So again, I'm going to just do a little bit of formula changes. Julia mode is turned on here. All right, let's go ahead and just slightly turn on the Julia mode. You see, I don't want to be too radical in my mutations. Not too radical. I'll try that. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Now, you see here that I took this base and it mutated to this, which is interesting. All right, it also mutated to this one. Now, if I send this one up to the editor, boom, all right. Now, here's my base, my original. All right, there's my mutation. And I think we're going to find that the formulas were not changed, right, because that was turned off. But the properties of the existing formulas were modified, all right, and ever so slightly. So what I've done here is I've taken a piece of work, my own, somebody else's, and I used the mutagen to ever so slightly modify, so that I get something new, but not so radically modified that it's no longer, I don't recognize it anymore. All right. So this session and the last session, I was describing two approaches to using the mutagen. One is that you use mutagen for an all-out discovery process. All right, you take all of the probabilities and all of the strengths, and you just yank them all the way to their maximum, let it rip, and see what you get. And it's a way to be able to discover Mandelbulb scenes or objects that you probably would not have discovered if you had just stayed with manual manipulation of the formula. Okay, that was kind of scenario number one, an all-out discovery process. And scenario two is that you take an existing work, your own or somebody else's, and you tone down the modifications so that you slightly modify it, but don't modify it so radically that you don't recognize it anymore. That's an excellent opportunity to actually use your or somebody else's Mandelbulb without completely modifying it to where you don't recognize it anymore. All right? So there's two valuable ways to be able to use the MutaGen. One is an all-out ramped up discovery route, and the other is to extend an already existing Mandelbulb piece of work. Okay? All right? All right. So I think we've made some very significant progress here in talking about the MutaGen. A little bit more to talk about. So why don't we do this? Let's take a break. We'll end this session here, and we'll pick this up again in the next session, which would be session number 16. All right? So I will see you in session 16. See you there.